Welcome back to Up in the Northwoods. It's Saturday morning here, and we're actually in the back in the Woodyard finally. We've been on jobs so much, doing so much work that we've taped a lot of stuff for you guys. We're going to put it out here soon. We'll be putting different jobs out, but today we're going to spend some time back here in the Woodyard. Yesterday we went and got some IBC totes, we'll show you, and we're going to do some resplitting of some larger maple ash and grind off the IBC totes to get into them, the sides, and then we're going to stack that in there. We decided we're going to go IBC totes instead of the long row stacking. It just takes up too much, land. It takes up a lot of room for it. And I thought, we can get these IBC totes around here pretty reasonable, so I decided to switch over to those. And we're starting to pull the bins apart, so I'm going to show you that quick and then show you the IBC totes, and then we're going to get cracking wood. So here's the bin we've been working on. This is what we're going to resplit here, this stuff. And this bin here we're going to try to get done. We added a little more to this stuff. We bought a new double-tired wheelbarrow to start pulling it over and doing it, and it worked better, but this row we didn't extend all the way out because we got to get through here. We want to clean this mess up and get it out of here, but we extended these rows here. But you can see here in the background, here's some of the IBC totes. We bought 32 of them yesterday. The guy had over 400, I don't know, 400 of them or 500 of them, something like that. And he had quite a few that were actually clean, food grade. But those were 60 bucks a piece. These were $20, so they're in really nice shape. They have paint in them, which we're not going to use those anyway. We might, some of the better ones we'll probably do, cut them in kitty corner and make roofs out of them, see how that works. But they're not all banged up. They're in pretty good shape. So 20 bucks was pretty reasonable. So you can see some of them were cut open with paint, and they're pretty yucky, but we'll just take those to the landfill. Get rid of them. But there's some totes over there. We got some more over here. Some here that I'm going to grind and open them up. We're going to open up the big side. We normally did this smaller end, but when we got these totes, the guy does a lot of firewood there. I mean, he's got, I don't know, over 100 of these filled, and he sends to Chicago, I guess, too. But what we're going to do is I think we're going to cut this 48-inch side. So if we cut them here and over here, you still keep the integrity of the basket. And we can get roughly 48 inches across then. And he said if you double stack it and you get them packed really tight, he said don't leave air gaps. He says it's over a face cord. And these are 275 gallon. These are not the 330s. So I don't know if I believe that, but we're going to find out because we have some cherry over there dried, and it's all stacked in a 4x8. 16-inch, but 4 foot high, 4 foot, or 8 feet long. So we're going to stack it in here and try it because that's all measured out. So we're going to try it and see if it really does fit. Yeah, and then we're trying to get our wood dried here. This stuff is drying really, really well. You can see we put rubber tarps on. I had a bunch of old roofing rubber tarps, and we cut them just wide enough to put them on top to keep, 95% of the water off of these is going to help quite a bit. So I think that'll help. But these, we want to do those plastic covers, and we'll double stack these. But these just, they take up, we can put them over here, up in this area or somewhere, once these bins are gone, and we can stack them. We'll probably leave some gaps in them so the air can get in, between some of the rows. But, I think we can put a lot more wood in a smaller area because these bins do take up a lot of room. But it's just they're not dry. We're pulling out of there, and we were still getting 25 to 30% readings after a year. That shouldn't be. So, and then of course some mold, but not as bad. As we get in, it's not as bad. So anyway, that's what our plan is. we got 32 of these. We can get as many more as we want. So we've started picking up some of this wood we been dumping. You know, we brought trailer loads home. I think there was 7 or 8, 9, something like that back here already we brought home this year. And we just used our forks. We put stakes on our gooseneck, and we just used that for the first time. And I had a pretty good load on there. I probably had between 3 and 4 full cords and of hard maple. And I'll tell you, it was heavy. So we still have to clean these up. But that wasn't a priority. Just trying to get our work stuff done, and then working back here, Gunner's getting these all pulled apart so we can get the bladders out of them. And we're gonna do some grinding. So we're gonna set you guys up and take you along. We got beech, we got maple, and we have ash. That's pretty much what all this is. And this is just our resplits we just, you know, had on the video. And I just hit it with the moisture meter, and it's all about 21%. There's some that are 16, 18 already. So this, we cut that out there, so now this will be able to reach in, and we're not really gonna dump these, I don't think. If we did, we might take those couple more off down there, and then you just strap it to your forks and dump it. But we're gonna slide these in the trailer, I think, a lot of it, and dump trailer, and take them over to my brother's house and fill the racks with them. So we're gonna be selling hardwood in our racks, I think. So we have a lot of it, so we might as well.
Well guys, we finished up with that small pile on the pallets that we showed you earlier. We got a partial basket here that we'll throw back over, and he's just taking that up for boiler wood. That's all scrap. But you can see here, we got this all cleaned out, got all the pallets up. You can see how dirty they are. We're letting them dry here, and then we'll take a wire brush and scrape all that off so they stack nicer. But we got this all raked up, cleaned up, finally. But then we just got done. He's bringing that up. We got that boiler wood pile halfway up on that other opening we got, and he's gonna just dump it on there so we don't have it back here cluttering up the wood yard. But then here's the 3 we did. We stacked, and it's actually, they stack in here pretty nice. We've never really stacked firewood in these IBC totes, but you can see We got 3 out of that little pile. It works good. And they still stack nice, even with that hole cutting them. Works good. You can see, and we were testing more moistures, and we're right around, the most we've seen I think was like 23%, 24%, right in there. And then while we were back here, we got these other ones that I was spreading out this morning. We got these other ones all pulled out, all the totes are out of them. We were gonna try and salvage these and cut some of the totes diagonally so that we could use them as covers on top of the stacks. But I don't think that's gonna happen, because here, I'll show you some of what these look like. I don't know, and this one's all, I don't know if you guys can see in there. Here, I'll show you. It's all hardened stuff, but then there's, like this one, that's wet paint in there yet, so we don't want that messy stuff on there. And then if it's dry, of course it gets heavier because there's all that paint in there. We just took some out and there was a lot in there. I like that one. But what can you do? Then we pushed some of them back over here. I'll show you guys. Well, we got all the pallets here. We actually got some of these pallets for sale because we got them all thinking we were doing all these bins and stuff, so it was awesome. But then now we're not doing the bins, so we're like, well, we have like 300 pallets here, so we might as well sell some of them. But then you can see them all down there. There's the rest of them. Those ones are mostly don't have the tops cut out like the ones I just showed you. So we put those down there for now because we want to get rid of these ones first. We're hoping we can bring them to the landfill by us, just because they're so nasty we can't really deal with them. So we're gonna do that. But now that we got this, we gotta cut these out. We're gonna cut some more out, I think, tonight later. But with that being said, we're gonna end this video here. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.